So, I'm sure you've all seen those satisfaction videos on TikTok, with like the falling Tetris blocks and floral foam and whatever else. Some people say that they watch them to relieve stress, and I can definitely understand that. But don't you ever feel like there's not enough stress in your life? Like you're sitting in a changing room before the finals of your sports playoff. You don't want to be calm. You're trying to pump yourself up, get your adrenaline going. You don't need satisfying Orbeez videos for that. You need stress. Who doesn't want more stress? So something that just scratches my brain the right way is seeing things fit in nicely. If you've seen that guy on TikTok that finds perfect fits for things, you know what I'm talking about. So I animated some of these hexagonal rods sliding in with each other. A total of 4 rods are going to be inserted. The first one I used some rigid body physics to have it fall down. I also needed to add a bottom and a constraining ring here with physics as well to stop the rod from bouncing all over the place. After a bit of tweaking with the collisions and such, I had a pretty convincing fall, which is also quite satisfying. Finally, I added some keyframes to the rod so that it would stay still after falling. The second rod, I thought it'd be funny to have it get somewhat stuck and get rammed down. It was a pretty simple animation, and I added some keyframes to have the rod stop midway down and slowly scoot its way down the hole. The third rod, I thought I could take the extreme and just make like a horrible screeching noise. You know, that kind that gives you goosebumps. I guess this entire process of inserting the rods is kind of building up in how unsatisfying the video is. Again, easy. Get it to just slide slowly with the keyframes. Finally, the fourth rod, the climax of the animation, I guess you could call it. God, this entire thing is just a massive innuendo, huh? I just absolutely had to do this for the final rod. I couldn't give you the satisfaction of seeing that little hole get filled. This, of course, was accomplished with more rigid body physics. And while I was at it, I also just absolutely had to make this joke. Get it? It's too big to fit because it's black. Marble runs are nice. I like marble runs. I like marble runs because then I can play with my ball. No more sex jokes for the rest of the video. Come on, you can do this. Marble runs are pretty satisfying to watch, but you know the goal, no satisfaction. So, the plan was to make the marble miss the hole at the very end. Blender rigid body physics can be somewhat silly when it comes to concave meshes like wires, and I spent a really long time trying to come up with a suitable workflow that I could produce a stable and convincing simulation with, and also would allow me to have this wire track aesthetic that I wanted. I settled on using a curve for the shape of the track, using really large and subdivided cubes for the actual physical objects the marble would interact with, and then overlaying some round wires on top to give the illusion of the marble rolling on the wire track. After that was all done, I modeled the ground Ussie here. For the finishing touch, I wanted the marble to somehow disintegrate or shatter or something once it hit the ground and missed the hole. After wrangling with stupid ass rigid body physics, I gave up and decided to make the marble start behaving like a soft body once it hit the ground, which was surprisingly easy to do. One issue that I ran into is that once the marble changes to soft body, the momentum from rigid body doesn't carry over, which I solved by adding a strength 100 wind force field that's enabled for like 3 frames, and just accelerates the soft body so the momentum is correct. Last thing, we'll unsatisfyingly fill some bottles, as in spilling it everywhere. I modeled the pipe that the fluid comes from and the bottle as well, all well and good. The issue is with Blender's fluid physics. Blender's fluid physics is like princess. You have to treat it perfectly. It doesn't like big things, small things, moving things, thin things, bottle-shaped things, straight things. I nearly ripped out more hair than Walter White trying to get this simulation to work. But, alas, it worked. I figured that if I moved both the bottle and the fluid domain instead of just the bottle, I can make the liquid in the bottle look like it's sloshing around from movement without having it move so fast that it phases through the walls of the bottle. So we're all set now. I've got a fluid source up here which adds fluid to the simulation, which is going into the bottle. The bottle moves so that the liquid sloshes and... Wait, what? Where did the liquid go? Why is there so much less? What? Hold on. Holy fucking shit, I hate fluid physics. Everything is so damn inconsistent. 1 minute the fluid source is flowing like Niagara Falls. The next it's drier than Ben Shapiro's wife. And don't even get me started on how the stuff coming out of the tap starts swerving and falling all over the place like an old man with Parkinson's pissing. Anyways, I then added a second bottle, fluid domain, source, etc., and slightly tweaked the initial velocity on the second source here so that the fluid wouldn't fall into the bottle and spill all over the place. Simulate, and nice. The simulation works, and I already added materials to everything so I can render here. So yeah, that's it. Like and subscribe. Peace.